Well, hey folks, how you doing? This is Mr. MegaManFan. Like, share, comment, subscribe. You know all the things to do. Today, we're going to look at a product that I ordered from Amazon, and we're going to see if it's any good or not. It cost me $34.99 plus tax, and let me show you what it is. As you can see, this is a Neo Geo style 8BitDo controller. It works with Windows, Android, and Neo Geo Mini, which I just happen to have one of. So that's the thing I'm going to try it with today. Although I imagine since it's Windows and Android compatible, it'll work on just about anything that has a USB port. So whatever you want to use it on, that's up to you. But I want to know, will it be good on my Neo Geo Mini, and was it worth the $35 I spent? Because if it is, and it was, then I don't have to use a corded controller with my Neo Geo Mini anymore. I'll have a wireless controller that's good to go. And to me, that'll be worth 35 bucks. So let's go ahead and unbox it and give it a try. For the convenience of everybody involved, I've gone ahead and turned on my Neo Geo Mini cap. So as soon as we get this thing unboxed and set up, we're ready to roll. I'm sure there will be some instructions inside the box on what exactly to do and how exactly to do it. Here it is. Another product from the people at 8BitDo. The SNK Neo Geo wireless controller. Contents: gamepad, USB cable, and 2.4 gigahertz adapter. That should be everything we need once we get it out of this box. Neo Geo Mini controller in a baggie here. And the stick does feel clicky as promised, so I'm happy about that. Got some instructions here. Got our adapter here. Got our dongle here. And a charge cord here. So I probably will need to charge this up a little bit. But in the meantime, we could go ahead and start setting things up. I believe the dongle goes in the side like so. Okay. Now I just need to get some juice running to this thing. And now that I've got the controller fully charged up, we can put this thing through its paces. And I could think of no better game to do that with than Metal Slug X, one of my all-time Neo Geo favorites. Incidentally, while I wouldn't say the Neo Geo Mini is perfect, because after all, what's going to be better than the original Neo Geo MVS arcade cab or the home console? But they cared enough about it that it runs way better than any of those 999,999 Game & One devices that you can buy on Wish or Amazon or AliExpress. I don't know, whatever bootleg service. Well, Amazon isn't really a bootleg service, but they do sell some bootleg stuff on Amazon because they don't vet every single seller on there. So what I'm saying is, this is an official SNK product. When they put their stamp on it, they at least made sure that it ran well enough that you wouldn't hate it. And I do not hate playing any of the Metal Slug games on here, and I hate it even less now that I'm using a Neo Geo style pad wirelessly, because it really feels good in my hand. This is about as close as I will ever come to actually owning a Neo Geo arcade of any kind, because I don't have room for a full cab, and the home console, well, I just don't feel like going down that road when some of those games are hundreds of dollars a piece. I envy those who do, and I respect those who can, It's just not going to be my thing. But that doesn't mean I don't enjoy Neo Geo games, especially if they're presented in a way that's very playable. If you have a good Metal Slug compilation, that's great. If you have arcade conversions done by somebody like M2, that's great. Or if you have this Neo Geo mini cab that can do HDMI out and now I can play it wirelessly with this controller, that's great. The clicky stick actually makes it easier to aim the machine guns when you're trying to fire in different directions. When you really need that in a game like Metal Slug, where sometimes you're controlling a tank and you're moving and aiming a cannon at the same time, that clicky stick really helps out a lot. And I'm sure it just feels right to somebody who's had Neo Geo hardware. And since I don't own it and have only seen it secondhand, I can only take other people's words for it that the clickiness is the way it's supposed to be. To me, it differentiates itself from any other wireless controller that I've had. And maybe that alone is reason enough to own it. Not that it's inexpensive. I mean, this is a $35 device, and I'm going to be perfectly fair about that, because if you just want a wireless controller, you don't have to spend $35, not even from 8BitDo. They have ones that go anywhere from $10 to $25, depending on who you get it from, whether it's new or used, refurbished, or you could even get one of those lucky box deals that they've done in the past, where they throw a bunch of controllers in there that end up being way more valuable than what you paid for them, at least MSRP value. You can get like $100 of controllers for far less than that if you're willing to buy a lucky box. And in this case, it's not a lucky box. You're buying one specific thing, you know what you want, and you're getting that. And maybe you just want a clicky Neo Geo wireless pad, in which case, spend that $35, don't get a lucky box, get exactly what you want, and not have the luck of the draw be something you did or didn't want. That's the bottom line here. If you want a great feeling, this feels great in the hand. Even if I wasn't a fan of clicky sticks, I would say this just feels responsive. Everything I'm doing works the way I want it to. If I'm making a mistake in the gameplay, it's my mistake because I did the wrong thing at the wrong time, not because there was input lag. I know there's no such thing as no lag. Bob from Retro RGB would harp on this point. He's criticized 8BitDo's advertising in the past, and he's right to do so. If they claim something is lag-free, that's bullshit. There's always going to be some kind of lag. The question is whether that lag is noticeable enough to impact your gameplay experience. And I'm telling you right now, playing Metal Slug X, there's probably more lag in the performance of the game when there's sprites on the screens than there is lag from my input using the wireless pad. So if it lags, it's the game and not the controller. I really like this 8BitDo wireless controller. At $35, it's not for everyone, but it's definitely for me. And what's really nice about the fact that they designed it for compatibility with the Mini is that the extra buttons on here take you to the menu, which means you don't have to physically access the cab to create a save state, load a save state, or back out of a game and go back to the menu and select another game, because you can hit the menu button on the controller and access all the saves and loads you want. You can set this cab up anywhere, use it wirelessly, and you're good to go.